Hey everybody, a little bit before Thanksgiving, I did my review, oh hi Pickles, I did my review on my SetPower 12-volt refrigerator freezer system, and my dogs are out here because they know when I come out here they're about to get fed, but it's not 3 o'clock, so they're not getting fed. So I haven't used this cooler for my road trips like I'd hoped I would because it's winter now, and I bought this thing at the end of summer, end of fall, and it was warm and I was going places, and now that it's freezing cold, I don't need my freezer for that. But what I have been using it for is their dog food, and that's why they're freaking out right now. So we get the fresh dog food. It's got to stay frozen until 2 or 3 days before you want to use it. So I keep this thing set to 15 degrees, keeps the freezer size frozen. So I mean, that is hard as a rock. But then in this little section up to the other side, as you can see, there's two sections. There's the big freezer section, and then this section here stays about 20 degrees warmer than here. So this is set to 17. This is probably 36, 37 degrees in here. And if I put the frozen food in there about 24 hours out, it's perfect and ready to get put in their bowl for them to eat. The other thing I use it for is if I'm going to the commissary to do my shopping for cheaper. It's about an hour, hour and 15 minutes away. So I'll take this with me, keep it in the back of my truck, put my ice cream and all my milk and cold and frozen stuff in here. The milk doesn't freeze in an hour. The other stuff doesn't thaw in the hour, so it works really well for that. But like I said, it's been so cold, I just leave the cold stuff in the bed of my truck for the last month. But I decided, we got some snow here. We got about 8 inches of snow, and my kids have been playing in it, but it's really starting to melt. All the snow you see on the side of the road is disgusting and dirty and like brown and black from being plowed and everything, but we still have some fresh snow on the northern side, facing side of our house. So I'm gonna take all their dog food out of here, fill this thing up with the freshest snow I can find, pack them into snowballs, put them in here, and then I'm just gonna keep this thing on somewhere off to the side where the kids won't know to look at it, and in May, we're gonna have a snowball fight. So I figure not gonna use this thing a whole lot in between now and then because it's cold enough outside. But then when I want to go on my first trip, I'll come get this thing, we'll have our snowball fight, and then we'll go. So anyway, that's the plan. Figure I got to get some more use out of this thing during the winter when I'm not going on my trips. So there you go. If you have a 12-volt cooler that you usually use when you go on your trips and you're not using it, fill it up with snow, then have a snowball fight come summertime. I've got it hooked up to my battery right now. It's down to 12 degrees. I'm going to leave it turned on while I pack it full of snow, and then take it back inside and plug it into the wall again. And I'm just gonna leave it for months. I'm not gonna open it very much if I can avoid it because I don't want the outsides to get frozen or anything. So here we go. So being from California, I don't know what the different types of snow are. I hear other people say, oh, this is good for building snowmen. This is good for making snowballs. This is good for using a snowblower or whatever. This just feels really cold and dry to me. It does not turn into balls. It just kind of stays as powder. So that's whatever kind of snow this is. So that's it. Using my SetPower in the winter when I'm not going on trips to save as much snow as I can so we can have fun in May with the snowball fight. So come back in May and I'll show you a video of what's left over. But this is what I'm using my SetPower for the next 3 months while it's snowy. All right, back in the house, got her plugged back into the wall, set to 0. It's at 15 right now, still coming down. But I mean, there it is, packed with snow. So we're gonna see how long this lasts. It doesn't get too hot in here. In the winter, we keep it set to 68. In the summer, we have the AC down to 72 or 73 or something like that. It's by a window, but if it gets too hot in this room, I'll move it somewhere else. But this thing is a cooler. It's made for this. It's made to be out, you know, in the wild where it's hot and keep stuff cold. So I think this is going to be a cool experiment and also a good use for this thing when I'm not going on road trips and taking it with me to keep my camping gear or my camping food cold, just because I'm a fair weather camper. I camp when it's fun, not when it's miserable. So anyway, like I said, come back in May. I'll show you how much snow is left. Maybe I'll do an update in the end of February or something just to see how much snow is in there. If it all turns to water, we know this wasn't a good idea, but it shouldn't. It's a freezer, and it's 15 degrees right now. So we'll see what happens. Cheers.
It's over!